New York, Reuters, stocks around the world advanced on Friday on strong earnings, with consumer staples results boosting Wall Street, though a trade spat between the United States and China along with weaker than expected U.S. jobs numbers capped gains and weighed on the dollar. U.S. job growth slowed more than expected in July as employment in transportation and utilities fell, but analysts said the numbers didn't Euro trademark T change their expectations for a September interest rate hike. A euro with wages and salaries up 2.7%, which is consistent with the 2.9% annual increase we saw for private sector workers in the June Employment Cost Index report released earlier this week. A third rate hike in September is all but certain, a euro, said Heidi Lerner, chief economist at Saville Studley in New York. Market participants were still focused on an escalating trade dispute between the United States and China, which proposed new tariffs on $60 billion worth of U.S. goods. By the close, the Dow Jones Industrial Average has risen 136.42 points, or 0.54%, to 25,462.58, the S&P 500 gained 13.13 points, or 0.46%, to 2,840.35, and the Nasdaq Composite added 9.33 points, or 0.12%, to 7,812.02. The S&P consumer staples sector rose 1.2%. Its advance was led by Kraft Heinz, up 8.6% after the packaged foods company topped quarterly profit and revenue estimates. For the week, the S&P 500 and Nasdaq posted gains, while the Dow was roughly flat. MSCI Euro trademark S gauge of stocks across the globe gained 0.35%, while the pan-European FTSE Euro First 300 index rose 0.67%. According to Bespoke Investment Group, mentions of tariffs in S&P 500 company earnings reports for the second quarter have more than doubled from the first quarter of this year. Following news of China Euro trademark S retaliatory tariffs and the U.S. jobs data, yields on 7-year U.S. Treasury notes led a fall in U.S. government bond yields across maturities. L1N1 UU10M. Italy Euro trademark S bonds had a volatile day, with yields soaring to 8-week highs early in the day over political tensions, then falling back by the close. Meanwhile, the Turkish lira hit a record low of 5.1125 against the US dollar after US sanctions on 2 Turkish ministers, in a dispute over the trial of a US pastor accused of backing terrorism in Turkey. Friday Euro trademark S 0.2% decline was part of a more than 4% slide this week that took the year-to-date devaluation of the currency to over 25% year-to-date versus the greenback. Win Thin, global head of emerging market currency strategy at Brown Brothers Harriman in New York, said the Turkish central bank would need to send a strong message to support the lira in the form of a rate hike of over 700 basis points to 25%. A euro or eth longer they wait to respond, the harder it is, a euro Thin said. The US dollar slipped against the yuan after the Chinese central bank raised the forward reserve requirement for foreign exchange in a bid to stabilize its currency. The dollar was 0.52% lower against the offshore yuan. A euro or eth traders playing chicken against the PPA Euro trademark S Bank of China got hit by a truck this morning, a euro, said Carl Shamata, a strategist at Cambridge Global Payments in Toronto. Currency. The dollar index, which measures the greenback against a basket of 6 other currencies, was flat on the day at 95.148, after dipping as low as 94.98. The index was up 0.5% for the week. Gold rallied 1%, after falling to the lowest in nearly 17 months, when the U.S. jobs data pushed the dollar lower and Chinese currency lifted. Oil prices edged lower after Thursday Euro trademark S rally, which was driven by an industry report suggesting U.S. crude stockpiles would soon decline after a surprise rise in the latest week. O/R. U.S. crude oil futures settled at $68.49 a barrel, down 0.68%. Brent crude futures settled at $73.21, down 0.33%.